Hey, listen guys, I wanted to re-record my previous video because as soon as I hit the stop button, you started pounding the video with House Bill 20 from the 2012 session. And I wanted to address that as well. So first of all, this video is about the governor's ability to ban firearms on the Capitol grounds on Lobby Day. So as I discussed in the first video, 44-146.16 defines what an emergency is, and it means any occurrence or threat thereof, whether natural or man-made, which results in substantial harm to the population, is the definition of an emergency. Okay, flipping that to 146.17, it does say in there that the governor can make an order to deal with that emergency. Okay, so I've just said all that in the previous video. The issue is going to be, is there actionable intelligence that there's going to be a threat of substantial harm to the population that's going to occur at Lobby Day? Okay, that's the question, and that's what we're going to have to see from the governor today at his press conference. It's going to have to be a occurrence or threat thereof, natural or man-made, which may result in substantial injury or harm to the population or substantial damage. It's going to have to come from law enforcement that these threats have been made. So it'd have to be something like somebody's threatened to come storm the governor's mansion or something like that. It's going to have to be something like that that is actionable, that the police, it's not just a wild guy out in the out somewhere who's making the threat. It's going to have to be actionable where the police do believe it's going to happen. Okay. If the governor can get to that point, he can make an order, an emergency order, that could restrict firearms. Now, the reason I'm re-recording this is because you all have been talking about House Bill 20 from the 2012 session, and I want to address that because it's important to understand this. They did provide this code, which amended 44-146.15, that basically says that nothing in this emergency code section should be construed to restricting the rights of people to bear arms. However, it does say, except to the extent necessary to ensure public safety in any place or facility designated or used by the governor, any political subdivision of the Commonwealth, or any governmental entity as an emergency shelter or for the purposes of sheltering persons. Okay, so there's commas here, and the way that code section reads is any facility designated or used by the governor or political subdivision of the Commonwealth or other governmental entity to be an emergency shelter. So what we've got to get to is we're going to have to see what he's going to say, okay? There's an exception to Senate Bill 20. We're going to have to see how he's going to craft this. I mean, you guys got to understand, the Attorney General is a smart guy, whether you like him or not. They know these laws backwards and forwards. I'm trying to just explain them to you for the first time. So we're going to have to see what he says. We'll comment on it later. I'm not going to answer your questions right now because I don't know what he's going to say, but he's going to, one, have to declare an emergency. That emergency is, two, going to have to come from an actionable threat, and that his order is going to be dealing with that threat. And then three, we're going to see how that intertwines with 44-146.15, which defines the scope and laws of what the governor can do. All that's going to be answered a little bit later today. Don't blast me right here, right yet with questions. I don't know any more than you do. Just putting into context where the codes are right now, and let's talk a little bit further a little bit later today. So there we go. Those are our code sections. Let's hear what he says. Let's hear his words. And we'll see what his order is. We'll take it from there.